Ever toss and turn at night? Well, you're in good company. Even Egyptian pharaohs struggled to catch their Z's. From magic pillows to dream temples and wild herb cocktails, these ancient rulers tried some seriously creative ways to fight insomnia. Let's talk about why these powerful pharaohs couldn't just command themselves to sleep. First up, these rulers had a ton on their minds. I mean, running an empire isn't exactly relaxing. They worried about floods, harvests, and whether that new pyramid was going to turn out Instagram-worthy. Plus, their bedrooms weren't exactly sleep-friendly. Sure, they had fancy beds, but ancient Egypt was hot. Really hot. Imagine trying to sleep in a thick, humid air while wearing royal sleepwear. And get this, many pharaohs actually feared sleep because they believed evil spirits could attack them while they dozed. Talk about performance anxiety. No wonder they needed those magical sleep solutions. You might think pharaohs had it made with their sleeping arrangements, but their bedrooms were a wild mix of luxury and weird protective stuff. They slept on raised beds made of wood and gold. No memory foam here. Instead, they used curved headrests carved from wood or cool stone. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Sounds about as comfy as sleeping on a brick. But here's the cool part. These beds were surrounded by protective statues and magical symbols, kind of like ancient Egyptian nightlights. The walls were painted with scenes from the Book of the Dead, which was supposed to keep evil spirits away. Imagine trying to drift off while staring at that. Plus, they had servants waving giant fans all night to fight the heat. Talk about high-maintenance sleeping. Let me tell you about the weirdest sleep gadgets in history, ancient Egyptian headrests and magic pillows. These weren't your average fluffy pillows. Pharaohs rested their royal heads on curved pieces of wood, ivory, or stone, carved with spells for protection. Think of them as the original sleep tech, except instead of white noise machines, they had carved demons to fight off bad dreams. The headrests came in all sorts of fancy designs, some decorated with images of Bez, the god of sleep, who looked like a mix between a lion and a grumpy dwarf. My personal favorite, the ones with tiny legs carved to look like lions, because nothing says sweet dreams like sleeping on a miniature throne held up by fierce beasts. When regular sleep tricks didn't work, pharaohs went big, like temple-sized big. They built massive dream temples where priests would help them catch some royal shut-eye. These weren't your average meditation rooms. Imagine a sacred sleep spa where priests burned special incense, chanted sleep spells, and interpreted dreams. The coolest part? They had these things called sleep chambers, specially designed rooms with comfy couches where pharaohs would take divine power naps. The walls were covered in calming blue paint mixed with crushed lapis lazuli, and the air was filled with soothing lotus scents. Priests would whisper prayers and pour sacred water while the pharaoh dozed off. It was basically ancient Egypt's version of a luxury sleep clinic. Ready for the wildest sleep aids in history? Ancient Egyptians were basically mixing up the world's first sleep smoothies. Their go-to remedy was blue lotus tea. This flower wasn't just pretty, it packed a serious sedative punch. Think of it as their Ambien, but way more mystical. Pharaohs would sip on a cocktail of lettuce water, yes, really, mandrake root, and poppy mixed with honey and wine. Some recipes even called for ground-up gemstones, because why not drink some crushed emeralds before bed? The priests kept these recipes super secret, written in special medical scrolls. And here's a fun fact. They'd test these potions on servants first. Talk about a risky job. Let me introduce you to ancient Egypt's most unique specialists, the sleep priests. These weren't your average spiritual guides. They were part doctor, part magician, and part therapist. Think of them as ancient sleep coaches with a mystical twist. They'd start by checking a pharaoh's sleep schedule. Yes, they had those. Then mix up special sleep potions using secret recipes passed down through generations. These priests knew every sleep spell in the book and could recite them backwards while juggling sacred oils. They even had a special title, Guardians of Royal Rest. But their job wasn't just about magic. They were seriously skilled at understanding sleep problems and knew exactly which herbs would knock out a restless ruler. Want to know where we found all these wild sleep secrets? Ancient Egyptian medical scrolls are like recipe books for the weirdest sleep cures ever. These papyrus texts were basically the WebMD of their time, except way more interesting. Take the Ebers Papyrus. It's packed with sleep fixes that range from totally genius to completely bonkers. My favorite is this one remedy that tells you to rub a mashed crocodile tooth mixed with honey on your head. Sounds crazy, right? But get this. Some of their other remedies, like using chamomile and mint, are things we still swear by today. The priests kept these scrolls under lock and key, treating them like top-secret documents. Let's talk about the ultimate ancient Egyptian luxury, royal bedtime massages. Pharaohs had teams of specially trained servants who knew exactly how to work that royal tension out. These massage experts used warm oils infused with lavender and frankincense, working their magic with techniques passed down through generations. They'd focus on specific pressure points. The temples, feet, and hands were considered gateways to peaceful sleep. The real kicker. These massages happened in candlelit rooms while soft music played on harps and servants fanned the air with ostrich feathers. Talk about living the dream. Think your bedtime routine is complicated? Ancient Egyptian pharaohs took it to a whole new level of wild. They'd sleep with tiny cat statues under their pillows. Seriously, hundreds of them, because cats were thought to fight off nightmare demons. But that's just the start. They'd paint their eyelids with green malachite to keep evil spirits from sneaking in through their eyes while they slept. Some pharaohs even had servants walk around their beds 3 times backwards while sprinkling blessed sand. The really paranoid ones. They'd sleep with magical scrolls tucked into their hair and wear special dream-catching amulets made from meteorites, because nothing says sweet dreams like space rocks in your jammies. Here's the wild thing. Some of these ancient Egyptian sleep hacks weren't as crazy as they sound. That blue lotus tea? Scientists found it contains compounds similar to modern sleep medications. And those headrests? While they seemed torture-worthy, they actually kept sleepers cool in Egypt's brutal heat. Even their obsession with sleep positions and breathing techniques matches up with modern sleep science. But let's be real, rubbing crocodile teeth on your head probably didn't do much, except give you a weird story to tell. The most effective methods were their aromatherapy and massage techniques, which we still use today. My favorite part? They figured out the connection between stress and sleep thousands of years before we had scientific proof. Thanks for joining me on this wild journey through ancient Egyptian sleep secrets. If you enjoyed learning about these royal bedtime stories, smash that like button and subscribe for more historical adventures. Share with your insomniac friends, they'll thank you.